decided to start playing with an electric guitar, you'll need an amplifier. I didn't spend a lot of time talking about amps in our first lesson. For a beginner, the amp is not the most important thing. A playable guitar is. I recommend you don't spend a lot of money on your first amplifier. Your taste will change as you progress. So don't assume that your first amp will be the last amp you buy. I also would recommend that you avoid tiny micro amps or belt clip-on amps. These often don't produce a good, clear sound. What I recommend for a beginner is a small, solid-state amp that is about 10 to 20 watts with about an 8 to 10 inch speaker. You'll also find modeling amps. These can be good for a beginner as they have a variety of effects and sounds. This can be motivating to a new player to be able to practice the same licks and chords with different sounds. Now let's talk about tuning. When you first start out, it's good to start with just standard tuning, sometimes called 440 tuning or concert tuning. Avoid alternate tunings, detunings, and open tunings until you have a good grasp of playing. These can be a lot of fun to play with, but they can make initial learning difficult. When you initially start to tune your instrument, it's good to have an electronic tuner. These are normally pretty inexpensive. They come in either a pedal or a self-contained box or a clip-on type, or even options that are an app that you can download for your phone. These all work pretty much the same, and they are all a good option for you to tune with. You'll tune your guitar to these notes: E, A, D, G, B, and E. If you're playing by yourself and have forgotten your tuner, you can also do what's called a relative tuning, which you tune your guitar to itself so the notes are relative to each other. To do it relative tuning on your guitar, you will fret each string at the 5th fret except for the G string. On the G string, you'll fret it at the 4th fret to tune your B string. The next thing you'll need to learn when you start to learn to play music is the musical alphabet. This is the first step in understanding and communicating musically with others in a group and comprehending chord charts for some of your favorite songs. The musical alphabet is broken down into a series of repeating letters to name each note that you're playing. The notes are broken into octaves that are further divided into tones and semitones, or called steps and half steps. The basic music alphabet is A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and G. After G, the names of these notes will repeat and will be said to be an octave higher. You may notice that I didn't list any of these notes as being flat. Notes that are accidentals or having a sharp or flat sign next to them each have two names, both a sharp name and a flat name. Properly in music, if you're traveling up a scale, the note is referred to as a sharp, and if you're traveling down a scale, you refer to the note as a flat. If you're on an A note and move up 1/2 step, you call this note A sharp. But if you're on B and move down 1/2 step, that same note is called B flat. However, it is not uncommon for people to always refer to a note by its sharp or flat name. This isn't formally correct, but it does get the job done. I most commonly use the sharp name. So now that we know the names of our notes, let's put those notes on our guitar. The lowest string that is closest to you is the E string. It is called the E string because that note played open without fingers holding down at any fret is an E note. So ascending, our notes are E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E again. You can use this pattern across all the strings if you know the names of your strings, E, A, D, G, B, E, and use the same formula to find the name of the note you are playing.